My name is Cody Brown, and you've got to meet my family. I'm a polygamist, but we're not the polygamists you think you know.
In 2010, Cody Brown invited us to meet his family, and millions of us said, yeah, I want to meet them. Why? For real, why did you start watching Sister Wives? That's a question that I posted on my community page, community tab. I don't know what the right word is for that, but I posted it on there. And as I was looking at the responses, I saw that a lot of them could fit into one of three categories. Those categories are curiosity, family, and vengeance. And let me give you some context for those categories. In 2004, a couple of researchers from Ohio State University, I think, published an article called Why We Watch Reality TV. And in it, they argue that we watch reality TV because it satisfies some desires that we have for our own lives. Now, their research is centered around this theory that every single human shares in common these 16, what they call 16 basic human desires, things that every single person on the planet wants for themselves. And we're not going to look at all 16 of those desires, just the three: curiosity, family, and vengeance, the three that brought most of us to watching the show.
I'm surprised how nervous. I know, I've got butterflies in my stomach.
It's like having a news broadcaster ask you questions.
It's worse than the news. Yes, because it's the people that relate to us. They want to know things a little bit more intimately, and I hope we can handle the pressure.
Curiosity brought most of us to watching Sister Wives, and the researchers defined curiosity as a desire for knowledge. So we had a desire for knowledge about the Browns, sure, but really about their family structure and about their religion. And the challenge with curiosity is that it can be hard to put boundaries around it. And so once the Browns opened themselves up to our curiosity, people got curious about a lot of things.
I was wondering if you all believe in using protection.
I don't think I'm going to answer that question.
The second category that seems to have brought a lot of us to watching Sister Wives was family.
We've got the family together basically with the teenage kids basically to talk about dating.
You should not be sexual until you have graduated from high school, ever.
The researchers described this desire for family very specifically as an interest in raising children. And for sure, the Browns did let us experience that in the beginning of the show. We got to see them parent and talk about parenting and have challenges in their parenting and still get the satisfaction of knowing at the end of most episodes, or at least believing at the end of most episodes, that they were a family that really loved each other.
It has a written question.
Oh, this is fun. What is the issue/topic that the family butts heads on the most, Ashley?
There's a lot of issues we butt heads on the same.
Name a couple.
Church.
Church? What? How do we disagree on church?
I just don't like going.
I was going to say that that's not the experience of family that they present in later seasons, but the truth is that is still there. Even while Cody was having his challenges with the kids, and there was always conflict between Robin and kids and mom and some other kids, there were specific challenges, we still got to see Christine relate to the kids. We still got to see Janelle relate to the kids. We still had these opportunities where we got to see fulfilling parenting moments. And I think for some members of the audience, that possibility is what kept them engaged in the show. I would definitely include myself in that list. The idea of family brought me to the show. In 2010, when the show premiered, I was pregnant with my first child. I was very excited and very unsure of what the future would hold, what it would be like to be a mom. Oh my gosh. That was this really fun time in my life, but also really nerve-wracking because what does this even mean? Oh my gosh. But I remember I didn't want to watch the shows I used to watch. Real World, Road Rules, all that. It felt like nonsense at that point in my life. Really wanted to watch shows that were about family. And even if it was a family that was kind of conservative, Mormon, fundamentalist, polygamist, I didn't have a lot in common with them. They were parents, and I wanted to see that. Third category that I would put the responses into why people watch Sister Wives: vengeance.
Understand the big picture that I have, and I want you to just respect that. Okay? Yeah.
Now, according to the researchers, a lot can fit into this category of vengeance. It could be a desire to feeling vindication, to knowing that you were right all along, even if people were trying to tell you that you didn't understand. or having desired to see the underdog win, or wanting people to be held accountable to their bad decisions, that can all fall into this category of vengeance. So maybe in the beginning of the series, you were watching and you had a sense there's something going on. These women are not all happy, but you kept watching because you had this feeling that at any moment, who knew it would be 18 seasons later, but at any moment, people are going to be held accountable for their bad behavior. And the people who need to leave and who need to persevere are going to get the chance to do that. That might be connected to a desire for vengeance. Or maybe later in the series, you felt some kind of good way when the nanny brought COVID into Robin and Cody's house. And there's no judgment from me if you felt that way, because I get it. There was something about that that felt kind of right. I hate to say it, but that's how I felt.
What does the nanny do?
Now, I know saying that you have a desire for vengeance might not feel like a good thing. It might not feel like a compliment for me to say that to you, but in this context, it makes perfect sense. The first reason is that the researchers found that the more reality shows a person watched, the more likely they were to have vengeance on pretty high on their list of desires. And it makes sense. A lot of us, and I will actually, let me not even put that on you. I will claim this for myself. As someone who watches reality TV pretty regularly, which they define as, I think, 2 or more episodes a week, I do like it when someone is held accountable to their bad choices and has the opportunity to reflect and learn and hopefully make better choices in the beginning, or, from then on. And I like when the person who's kind of getting mistreated gets a chance to win and they get a chance to persevere and they are the ultimate winners. I like that. And if the researchers call that vengeance, then that's fine. I might not call it that. Vengeance does sound kind of negative, but as the way they define it, it's like, yeah. Second thing to consider is that these are a part of this list of 16 basic human desires, suggesting that every single person has vengeance somewhere on their list. Every single person has vengeance and every other desire on their list. We just might prioritize it differently. So, for example, order is a desire that I have high on my list. If I walk into a room and I see a messy pile of books on the table, I'm going to want to put those books into neat stacks, or maybe I'll even try to put them away if I know where they go. My husband, on the other hand, I would say he has curiosity high on his list. If he were to walk into the same room and see that messy pile of books, I think he would pick up a book and read the title. He might pick up a book and read the next title. And eventually he's going to find a book that he wants to read. Now, does that make him a better person than me? Or does that make me a better person than him? Of course not. I don't think any of these desires is inherently better than the other. And in fact, we all have all of them. And at the same time that we all have all 16 of these desires, we are all also constantly looking for these desires to be satisfied. And these desires can be satisfied in one of 2 ways. Number 1, we can actually experience the thing. I can satisfy my desire for order by stacking up those books nicely and then feeling good about it. Or I can satisfy it vicariously through someone else. I might see someone else stack up that pile of books in person or in the media on a reality TV show. The researchers summarized their study by saying that people watch reality TV because it satisfies some desire or feeling that they value, which would mean that based on my little sample size in my community post, this community values curiosity. We value family, and we value vengeance. I'll put a link to the study in the description box so you can read about these 3 desires and all the rest of them on the list. But in the meantime, let me know what you think. Does curiosity, family, or vengeance count for any of the reasons that you started watching the show? Let me know. I would love to hear what you have to say about this topic, and I'll either meet you down in the comments or in my next video. In the meantime, thank you so much for being here. You could be anywhere, and you're here with me, and I really appreciate that. So I hope you have a good day. Take care. Bye.